Hey everybody, we're kicking it old school. We got what is it? This is a 2005 Kicker CVR, and it is a great fucking woofer. I'm telling you what, I really like this one a lot. It came with a stamped steel frame, and this is a 7.5-inch spider landing. This is the standard spider that I use, that I had tooled up. Or not tooled up, but whatever. I got a copy of, some guy sent me samples and I go, good enough. And so we got these. So these work really great and they're better than what Kicker even uses. So with that, the only thing you got to do is like stretch if you do that. And I love steel frames, especially on a motor this small. I say small, but that's relative to some of the shit that I build. So I got a request. Some guy's got a pair of these and he really wants to tune them up. And I was like, okay, well, what do you want to do? And so he wants to do the carbon fiber, Shawnee carbon fiber caps, I'm like, which that's fine. And then we're going to do a fat roll surround, I'm like, which is fine. He may have to use an adapter, but I think I have some 2.5-inch necked versions. So, but I wanted to show you guys. Oh, let go. That's the other pain in the butt about this. One of the downsides is that this uses the 120 millimeter bolt hole pattern, which is popular on the Sundown, or used to be on the Sundown SA series, and some other Sundown. They might have been built by the same build house, same factory. So I went ahead and removed the screen because it doesn't do any good. They're like, oh, it keeps debris out. They're like, why is there debris in your box, shithead? You don't need that fucking thing. It's an old habit from speaker factories. Let me show you the back. Comp VR, right? Comp VR. Let's see if you can see that. There we go. Come on, come on, come on. 05 CVR 12D or 12.4, 154. So that means it's the dual 4 ohm. See, VR dual 4. Dual voice coils. So that means now this is true on the 2 3/8 standard, and also in this case the 2 5/8 standard. That the dual 4 has a skinnier gap, right? That's to even out the BL differences. Personally, you can barely measure it. It's not worth it. But in this case, I have a Alpine Type R D2 coil from Lord of Bass, and it is a very snug fit. So I do not recommend it. If you're in a jam and you don't have time to order the dual 4 coil, what you can do is remove 2 layers. That gives you a single 2 ohm, which is what you're going to wire up a dual 4 to anyway. So, and it does the same job. So personally, I can wait. So I'm going to go ahead and order the dual 4 coils. You do get slightly better power handling, but that's a more of a hedge against abuse, and it's better not to abuse it anyway. And the research that I've done is that that's what Kicker has decided for you. So this motor is very, 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 very similar to the present L7, also known as the CVX, which is the next grade up. But this is from like 05. Let's see if I got that one. See, and it's vented pole, right? I can't even stick my thumb in the other one because there's no vented pole. Ugh. There you go. They did move to a wider bolt hole circle, BHC, as we say in the machining world. But this one is, if I remember right, it's 140 or 145. Can't remember. But again, the same problem. Actually, no, this one looks like it's, does it say? Yep, this is the dual 4. But it does have a little bit bigger gap. So if I wanted to get away with it, I could, but I still don't feel comfortable. You want a good clearance, otherwise you're going to get a rattle. So again, same issue. But here you're like, why did Kicker not machine that out to save money? And then again, they tell you it's an upgrade. It's not really an upgrade. So the old CVR is basically the same as the new CVX, but then they increased the price, and most of that pays for, or I should say justifies, it doesn't really pay because these probably get made for about 40, 50 bucks each, and then they sell them to you for whatever, $800 or whatever it is. So, but let me get back to the other motor, which again, I prefer. This is actually the older version. I have a matching pair of a newer version, which is probably like from 07 or 08. and they just changed the color scheme a little bit. So he wants to go with the black 4-spoke, which is fine. But I'll probably, well, I don't, you know what? I think I'm actually going to give him the spacers to space this up. The only thing I got to do is add the 120 millimeter pattern in between, which I'll just have the machine shop do, because they do it for like $10. I'm like, that's fine. That way it's perfect. And then I got my shipment of spacers in. I just use the 10 millimeter steel. I prefer the steel just because they're magnetic, and when you set them on there, then they won't move. When you use the aluminum ones, they, you know, they tend to move. So, because they're non-ferrous. So the steel ones I put on there, and then we'll do this, drill this out for 120 millimeter, and so that way there's plenty of venting underneath the spider. The other option is to drill here or even here. I could drill here and drill down, and that provides venting. That's what they do on the Sunfire subwoofers from Bob Carver. They actually only do like 4 vents, but I end up doing like 12 or something like that. The other advantage of changing the frame like this is now we can use a full 8-inch spider. And then this is my spider with the quad leads. Not that it gives it any more power handling, but you're not going to burn up a tinsel lead. So you'll probably burn up the coil first. So, but I think he's going to do dual 4. If not, I got to find out what impedance it came from originally. If he does have the originals as dual 2, then you can fit either coil. So you can either do dual 2 or dual 4 because it's a little bit chubbier, it's a little wider. So if that makes sense. So let me grab this cone real quick. So he's gonna do, I like this one. This is basically the RE Audio cone. Fat surround. You don't really need bigger surround than this for a motor like this, even with an 8-inch spider. And here's what the concave one looks like. Let me get a convex. You know, somebody complained, they're like, I get sick sometimes when I watch your videos. I'm like, I get sick when I watch my videos too. So, but there it is. So I think the guy's name is Tony, and he's from the Bronx. So, and I spent some time with him on the phone. He's like, I won't tell anybody I talked to you on the phone. I'm like, good, don't. Text me. If you want to talk to me, chat me up, text me. Mostly just because there's nothing I can really do over the phone verbally. So, because sometimes when I explain to people things, they don't quite understand what I'm talking about. So when I say upper landing, lower landing, you know, whatever, it means something different to the other person. So that's why I prefer text. Number 1, so that I can keep track of the conversation. Number 2, send me your name and usually your shipping address so I know where you're at. Eventually, I want to create a map on Google Maps where if you're doing recones, I can send people your way, right? Not that you're authorized. I don't want to do any of that authorized repair shit. I just say, hey, Matt in Kentucky can help you out. And then there's your information or a cash handle or whatever, some way to get a hold of you. And then they can contact you and come see you. I don't need to do all the fucking recones in the world. Again, the whole reason why I started doing these YouTube videos was to get out of speaker building. Okay. I don't need to do day-to-day speaker building. Okay. I want to go make movies. I want to be on the moon. I want to build it for Tesla. Okay. So, but the other advantage of using this frame, of course, is the wraparound gasket, which gives it the final look. And so I think this thing looks pretty fucking sharp, and it's on par with the not quite the Q. The Q series has a little bit bigger motor, a little bit bigger slugs. I think it still uses dual slugs, but they're just a little thicker. That's all. But yeah, it makes it look really nice. I think he's going to mount it with the magnet out to show him off, which is kind of a waste to buy this and then put it ass out. But, you know, whatever. It's fine. And then for termination, I'll just use the spring, my standard spring terminal. So, and that gets included in the price of the frame, which I sell this frame for $50 shipped. As is. I don't even clean it anymore. There's a little bit even dirt on it. I'll leave that for you to clean. They've been stored outside in the Arizona sun where it's clean and proper, and Jesus has blessed it. So, or Gonzo has blessed it. It's Gonzo, yeah. All praise Gonzo. I think, I got to do the, I forgot, I got distracted. Sorry. I get distracted often in my videos, but, I'll show you real quick on not on this, I'll cut this one off and then I'll do the centering video. So love you. Bye. Anyway, that's my review on the 05 CVR 15-inch dual 4 from Kicker. Kicker car audio. It's not Stillwater. I don't know what the whole fucking thing is with that Stillwater shit. There's no difference between Stillwater versus Kicker. I think Stillwater was probably like an early partner or even the founder, and then he had a separate business that consulted for the Kicker brand. Or originally it was Stillwater Designs, and then they realized the Kicker series, because they also made Mohawk and I think a couple other OEM brands or cottage brands, as they say, and then they just discontinued that shit, and they realized Kicker was the best brand to go with, and they went with Kicker. So anyways, I would love to talk about the history of that, but I don't think anybody's talking to Kicker. Love you.